Jim, someone in the Cult of Cornette Facebook group, Chris Flatt, wanted to get your opinion on this. I know I've seen video from way back of you talking about it. I never heard Bobby Eaton's version of it. I'll read this. This is apparently from an interview Bobby did with DDT Digest, and then you can add to it at the end. What was the oddest experience he had in a wrestling ring? That's an easy one. It was when I was with the Midnight Express. Can't remember whether it was Dennis or Stan. We were wrestling two guys for a TV match. I'd never seen them before. Well, this one guy was like Superman. We'd throw him or kick him out of the ring, and he'd jump right back up on the apron and onto the ropes. I'd never seen anything like it before. Normally, when you throw or kick a guy out of the ring, he catches his breath and it gives you a chance to gather your thoughts and figure out what you're going to do next. But this guy kept jumping right back up, no matter what we did. It was the weirdest thing. Finally, we get the win, pinning the Superman guy. So the referee is raising our hands in victory, and the Superman guy shimmies over.
He shimmied.
The Superman guy shimmies over on his back and boots me in my ass.
Yes.
And boots me in my ass from flat on his back. I was like, what the hell? Normally, when you beat guys, they're smart enough to stay down. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. I wasn't even sure what to do. So I stomped him once, not all that hard, to give him a hint. The referee went to raise our hands again, and believe it or not, I actually moved away from the guy to give him the benefit of the doubt.
And he shimmied.
So the guy actually shimmies across the ring on his rear end and boots me in the ass again. So my partner and I look at each other and just proceed to beat the living crap out of the guy who's already on his back. Superman's partner comes running in, probably just trying to protect his partner, but we didn't take any chances. My partner and I beat the crap out of him too.
But you know who that was? That was Wee Willie Winky.
I've never heard Bobby Eaton's version of it.
That was Wee Willie Winky, and I'll tell this real quick for the new listeners, but at Atlanta TV, you know, Mike Jackson would bring a carload of job guys that he had trained from Alabama, or the guys that come in from Greenville, South Carolina, that worked at local indies. But somehow these guys got booked. It was two muscle builders and this little hatchet-headed prick, Wee Willie Winky, that came in the same card. We'd never seen any of the three of them before. And the two muscle guys, you know, looked like something, but, you know, we didn't know whether they could work or not. But Wee Willie wanted to be called Blue Thunder because he had some blue in his outfit. And I guess he fancied himself that he was Blue Thunder. He was about legitimately 5'6" and maybe 160 pounds, just, you know, ridiculous, right? And so when Dusty was putting the names down against the guys, he said, Blue Thunder. He said, call him Wee Willie Winky. Call him Wee Willie Winky. Well, Wee Willie Winky didn't like being called Wee Willie Winky. He was already in a bad mood when he went in the ring. So it's what Bobby said normally. And we were the nicest ones with the job guys, right? We never hurt anybody. We didn't take advantage of them. You know, if they could work, we gave them a spot.
Monkeys. Monkeys.
Well, no, they did all that on their own on purpose. We didn't. No, they asked us to do that to them. I'm just telling you. But, you know, the point is, we were always nice. The job guys worked with him, whatever. This guy, Bobby said, whatever, he locked up and did something to him, threw him out of the ring. And the guy jumped right back and jumped over the top rope to get back in the ring. This little tiny, minute little prick is going to be the goddamn star of the show here on TBS against the Midnight Express. And his partner, by the way, had never seen him before either. His partner was one of the, you know, just local job guys they just put together, right? So they did another couple things. And it was Dennis, by the way, was the partner, which was another. If it had been Stan, Wee Willie might have got treated a little bit better. Fucking 2 or 3 things he had done, he just popped right back up. So they had the other guy tag in. They did some stuff to him. And then they were supposed to take it on old Wee Willie. So they get him back in, and I believe it was a rocket launcher finish. And boom, Bobby covers him 1, 2, 3, and then stands up. And as he said, Bobby's looking at the camera, the guy's behind him. I'm looking toward Bobby, so I see the guy. And as Bobby's got his hand, the referee's raising his hand, and Dennis is coming in the ring. Fucking Wee Willie shimmies over about a foot on his ass to be able to reach up and just kick Bobby lightly in the ass. And Bobby felt it and turned around and was like, he wasn't sure what he did. So he stomped the guy in a working way and then turned back around. And that's when Dennis is coming in. Dennis sees him do it the second time. And as soon as the guy did it the second time, they both took off on Wee Willie and started kicking the shit out of him. Now, the partner ran in because he just was so scared. He didn't know what to do. And he thought, oh, shit, more shit's going on. I should run over there. And Bobby turned around and they could punch him right between the eyes. Boom. And the guy said, fuck it. He got out. And Wee Willie is clamoring for the fucking ropes to get, because they're kicking the shit out of him for real. The ass kicking on the television show, as I remember, was covered by the replay of the rocket launcher. So you couldn't really see what was going on. You started to see the leg raise as they flew the replay in on the first ass kick, but you heard the ring going boom to boom to boom. And Wee Willie is trying to scramble away from him and comes right over the bottom rope right next to me as I was coming in. And I kneecapped him with the goddamn racket edge right as on his way by. Whap! And hit that fucking kneecap. And goddamn, he gets out of that ring and goes scurrying off. So Bobby and Dennis jump out, and Dennis is leading the charge because they're going to go kick the teetotal shit out of this fucking guy. However, Dennis did say on the way around, watch the fucking bodybuilders, because we didn't know about them. They came with him. Well, when we got around the corner, there was Dusty in Wee Willie's face looking down at him, because Dusty was 6 feet tall, so he had at least 6 inches on him. And he had his finger up in his face, and he was saying, if you want to make a comeback on somebody, motherfucker, make a comeback on me. Get your shit and get the fuck out of my building. And Wee Willie took off with the bodybuilders, and nobody ever saw him again. If you want to make a comeback on somebody, motherfucker, make a comeback on me. Get the fuck out of my building.
Was that something you guys commonly talked about? Like, was it an incident that you guys always could reference? That
Yes, we were. Yeah, find Wee Willie. He'll kick your ass, Bobby. Bobby Eaton got his ass kicked on TBS by Wee Willie Winkie.
Superman, as he calls him.
Blue Thunder.